What truly distincts a good band? For Sweet Trip, its seamless mixing of shoegaze, dream pop, and rock music defines their sound in a polarizing manner. To believe that they made music so ahead of their time shows creativity and innovation. With a concoction of ambitious sound and unrecognized talent from the early 2000s, Sweet Trip should have been a cult classic for many experimental music listeners. Yet, it seems no one knows the brilliance of their music. Let's dissect arguably their two best albums to date, starting with Velocity Design Comfort and You Will Never Know Why. Velocity Design Comfort starts off with a glitchy mess, a telltale sign to signal that this isn't any regular electronic album. Velocity Design Comfort's meaning is up for debate, but the most sensible theory is that the whole album tells a story of a human and a robot struggling to make music together, and the further the album goes, the more intertwined the sounds become between the robot and the human, with it all ending off with the most two beautiful songs of the album, To All the Dancers of the World, Around Foreign Fantasy, and Design 2-3. But besides the stark contrast between the first few chaotic songs and the last masterpieces, are filled with almost a whole hour of music that tells more than a story than conveying an actual album. You can actually hear the robot and the human clashing throughout the music without any real given cues. Music-wise, this album is almost unbearable to listen with the normal ear. Hence why it's debated if Velocity Design Comfort is a beautiful masterpiece in non-visual storytelling, or if it's just a jumbled mess of experimental ideas that just doesn't work as being enjoyable. Even the creator agrees that Velocity Design Comfort is a jumbled mess that took over 2 years to basically over-engineer a piece of music. Although Velocity Design Comfort may have its many flaws, it's a timestamp to Sweet Trip's most popular album, leading into its more refined counterpart, You Will Never Know Why. Unlike its previous edition, You Will Never Know Why starts off with a soft but upbeat track. The album seems to have lost a lot of its chaotic electronic influence and trade for a more cohesive rock and indie sound, and the rest of the album reflects that.
I will never fall, I will never fall in love again.
Ultimately, You Will Never Know Why has to be one of the best executions of dream pop out there. Its focus on atmospheric and lofty instrumentals mixed with the soft lyricism makes this the most refined album Sweet Trip has ever made. And the fact that it was delivered after Velocity Design Comfort, basically filling in all its past mistakes, shows the brilliance of Sweet Trip as a whole. Not a single song on this album feels out of place, nor does it feel like Sweet Trip lost their signature sound. It could be, dare I say, the quintessential dream pop album to listen to. For a majority of listeners, Sweet Trip faded into obscurity after their last album, but a few interviews online and an official statement beg to differ. Sweet Trip will start to make music again, and that brings up another chance to shake the music world. It's been nearly 2 decades since the release of Velocity Design Comfort, and I'm really excited to see the new stuff they'll release. So, in conclusion, give this band a chance. They've made masterpieces unheard of that deserve a lot more attention.